The Marvel Cinematic Universe is dying. And no, it's not some purple-skinned tyrant snapping his fingers. It's being killed by safety, by formula, by a creative cowardice that has turned a universe of infinite possibilities into a predictable, one-size-fits-all content factory. But there's a cure for this sickness, and it's not another cape. It's a sword. Today we're talking about why the only thing that can truly save Marvel is the one thing it's been too scared to unleash: Blade. For a universe supposedly teeming with gods and monsters, the MCU has become shockingly toothless. The stakes are galactic, but the action feels sterile. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was sold as Marvel's first dive into horror, but what we got was a PG-13 funhouse. Horror with the safety on. While that family-friendly approach built an empire, the formula is now the source of a terminal case of franchise fatigue. The universe feels massive, but emotionally it's a flatline. There's a desperate need for a dark, mature corner where the threats don't just get defeated, they leave scars. The MCU has dipped its toes in the supernatural with characters like Moon Knight and Elsa Bloodstone, but it's never had the guts to fully commit. That's the bloody space Blade was born to dominate. Long before the MCU was even a glimmer in Kevin Feige's eye, 1998's Blade kicked the door down. Forget Iron Man, the real blueprint for the modern superhero blockbuster was forged in a blood-soaked rave. It was a lightning strike, a major Marvel movie led by a black superhero, the untouchably cool Wesley Snipes, that was unapologetically R-rated and dripping, with a dark, gothic style the MCU wouldn't dare touch today. It was a revolutionary mix of hyper-stylized action and genuine horror that proved audiences were ready for mature comic book stories. Years before Tony Stark built his first suit, Blade proved you could take a C-list character and forge a cultural icon. The violence wasn't just gore, it was a brutal necessity, illustrating the savage reality of his war. But the real power comes from Eric Brooks himself. Half man, half vampire, cursed with the thirst but immune to the sun. His entire existence is a war for his own soul, a tragic internal conflict that makes every other MCU hero's problems look like a walk in the park. So how does Blade fix this mess? First, he brings the one thing the MCU fears most: real consequences. The monumental success of films like Deadpool and Wolverine and Logan is definitive proof that audiences are starved for adult superhero stories. An R rating isn't about blood for blood's sake. It's about stakes, intensity and impact that a PG-13 rating simply cannot deliver. You can't tell a vampire story without blood. To do so is to strip it of its power. Second, Blade is the perfect anchor for the entire supernatural wing of the MCU. He's the gateway to characters like Ghost Rider and the long-awaited Midnight Suns, establishing a whole new mythology of threats that can't be solved with science or cosmic blasters. This isn't about adding a new hero. It's about adding an entirely new genre. Finally, it's about the sheer weight of the character. It is not a coincidence that two-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali was cast for this role. Blade's struggle as a daywalker is a raw, powerful metaphor for alienation, identity, and finding a place in a world that rejects you, a thematic depth this universe desperately needs. Marvel's problem isn't a lack of heroes, it's a lack of guts. The single greatest danger to the MCU is its addiction to playing it safe, and Blade is the only cure. He's a character with a proven legacy of R-rated success, the promise of true, unapologetic horror, and the potential to unlock a whole new dimension of storytelling. But here's the reality check: the film is in trouble. Announced back in 2019, it has burned through writers and directors, with Mahershala Ali himself reportedly growing frustrated with the constant delays. The production hell isn't just a scheduling issue, it's a crisis of confidence. It's a studio staring its own salvation in the face and getting cold feet. So the real question is, can Marvel get its act together and finally unleash its masterpiece? Or will the Daywalker and the future of the MCU remain trapped in development hell? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.